Page 9, Grace. This is etude number 8 in the book. This is an etude apparently dealing with turns. It's an ornament used in music. Although here they didn't put in the turn sign, they printed out the notes for you. So in the first measure you hear, then the turn, these little notes, this ba-da-da-da-da type thing, that's a turn. And the fingering is fine, just follow the fingering. The second one, you can use the same fingering on the first turn. When you do that, it's like 4, 3, 2, 1. Except your thumb isn't here, it's down here. Boom. And I actually finger most of my turns that way. It's like fingering on the first turn they show here, where the thumb plays the last note. Here. But you finger them all that way, but I think they don't want you to finger them all that way because maybe sometimes it doesn't work out. So go ahead and use their fingering. Some editions give fingerings and other editions don't. That makes it hard. Because a lot of times in an etude, the fingering is part of the etude. And I hesitate changing fingering, but we'll talk about it. So at the beginning, it's just use their fingering. And then here, just stay here. And then next one, you gotta reach up. And again, just each time use your fingering. Watch out on that. This measure 4. They have to be even, and don't just that. Going down. Yep. Watch the fingering. And then here, measure 7. Isn't that fun? Then finally in measure 9, the left hand gets to have some fun here. Some editions, as I said, don't give fingering here, and others do. The edition I have in front of me has fingering, and they're showing it as a here. You're just staying in this position here, and in the next measure, they put a thumb on that because you're here, but they put a thumb on the last one. Makes it easier to reach the G. It's not necessary because even with second finger you still reach the G. However, because of the speed, I would suggest, if you can, go ahead and use the thumb on the last note on each of these turns in measures 9 and 10 and 13 and 14. Just so here, thumb. I find that a safer and a more secure fingering than using the same thing. That. And then, so here. You just have to scrunch up because that puts the thumb on F to scrunch up. I don't see a problem there. Here, that's what I'm suggesting there. Very slowly here. We want to hear whichever hand has the turn in it. Keep the other hand soft. And again, on measure 4, watch that. It's second finger and then thumb. So it's a way of covering 6 notes with 5 fingers. Is how. Now, measure 6. If you have big hands and fat fingers, this doesn't work real well. It sets you up for measure 7 because that's the chord. But again, you're up in this area, and if fingers are fat, that doesn't work. I tend to use a 2-4 because it keeps me out here. And then when I have to do measure 7, then I'll switch it. But if you have to alter the fingering there, do it. So that's why I'm using 4-2 here. Watch out here on measure 7. The left hand is 8th notes and 8th rests, and before we've been holding it out. So there we are. And then going on in measure 9 here. fingering in the right hand. It helps to bring out that top note. That's what we want to hear. I kind of think that's really the melody, and this left hand, what it's doing, sort of a counter melody to it. Because this right hand, you're getting it all the way through. I could be wrong. Maybe the melody is this, and this is a counter melody. And then whenever it gets over to measure 12, suddenly the right hand obviously has it. I don't know what the melody is, but in my mind, that's or maybe it's a duet between the two. They're equal. And then this next line does the same. Let's skip down to the last measure. They're there. Here, watch this fingering. I like this. It's here. 3 in the left hand or right hand. 2. Like that. 2, and then you're back to the top. I like that. I recommend that. As far as the dynamics go, you want to bring out the melody, and I think for the most part it's whichever hand has the turns in it, except for the measure 9, 10, 11, and 12 in there. I'm not sure where the melody is, so wherever it is, wherever you think it is, bring out the melody in that. But it's soft here. The left hand's going to be very soft. And this is like a portato. It's not staccato, short staccato, and you can't make it connected. It's in between. You just separate the notes. And that's all. And some additions here on measure 4, we'll put in a swell here, gonna get louder up there. And other additions don't put in the swell there, they put the swell in at the end of the measure. Now, there's an accent there. And some additions have a decrescendo there. Others don't. I don't know what to do. And some editions will put in crescendo here. I think that's appropriate because you have a decrescendo on the next one. Although if you're soft here, you're going to go down to very soft, so the decrescendo works anyway. But if you want to put in a little crescendo there, I said. And you're very soft there. Going on, now we're moderately loud. Again, portato here. Just disconnect them. And then there's a crescendo there. In my mind, come down to about a moderately soft or soft, so you go back up to moderately loud. Don't start moderately loud and go to loud. So come down. Now. Here I'd go back to moderately loud again. And some editions have a swell here, to here. Others don't, so I can't tell you which. Do whatever your edition says. Now there's a crescendo here. And a diminuendo and poco ritardando, because you're going to go back to the top soft. Then all we got to do is the speed. Well, I completely agree or disagree with their metronome marking. To me, a turn needs to be a graceful thing. It's not a super... I mean, there's no point in a turn if you're going to play it like that. And that, I think that 100 is way too fast. So whatever... To me, it's more important to execute that evenly and gracefully than to play it real fast. So whatever your moderato is, and moderato isn't to the beat, it's to the overall flow of the piece. So the more notes it's got in it, it's automatically going to go slower. It's just... What your speed, whatever it is over time, you can speed it up. That's my suggestion on the speed.